Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's another weekend, time to do more work. So we did a good amount on the car stereo, and for those who want to see what's going on with that, don't worry, there will be more to come, and hopefully even this weekend. But we need to get the car back on the ground and moving, and so it's power steering pump. Now, a little bit of a saga, a little bit of a story. As you would have known if you've watched my previous episodes on the front suspension, I dropped the subframe and had everything cleaned up. Thought while I had the time, while I had the car up in the air, while I had the space as well, I thought it was, yep, we're going to do this and clean it up, clean everything up. Power steering pump came out, it was working, it was fine, there was nothing wrong with it. But, as we know, these pumps do fail. So the car's getting close to 90,000 miles, and we know, any time really in the next 30, possibly even 40,000 miles, sorry, this could fail. Now, that's still quite a bit, and did I really need to do anything about it? I'd be no. However, I did. I sent it away to a company I'd used before, ECU Testing, and they did what appeared to be a fantastic job. Put it back in the car, and everything seemed fine. Obviously it took a while before the car was actually on the road, but it wasn't too long. Had it on the road, drove it around for around about 6 weeks, and then something went wrong. Something happened with the power steering pump. So what happened is I'd used it on, I think it was a Monday night I used it, came back, no problem, and thank goodness this issue didn't happen then, because who knows what could have happened if it had failed. Because this is a slightly different failure to what it's used to. Anyway, next morning I hop in the car, had to go somewhere, steering was heavy as anything, which is what you expect. You expect the thing to just stop working, no assistance, power assistance. Anyway, turn the car off, turn it on, checked a few things, thought I still need to go where I need to go. So I started driving off, and it seemed to come right. Suddenly, it seemed like the power steering pump was working. It's like, oh, brilliant. Maybe, loose connection or something. I'll check it over in the weekend, find out what's going on. Got up to where I was going, which wasn't far away. Everything had worked fine. Steering was nice and as good as it should be. Got here, turned the car off. Strange noise. Power steering pump was still running. Anyway, few quick checks, and sure enough, I couldn't stop it. Key out of the car, car's off, power steering pump's still running. So anyway, had to disconnect the battery, and the car had to be left up here, and I was back to using the other car. Now, I really struggled with the idea of having to take the power steering pump out again. Thought of all sorts of ways of possibly getting around the problem, so to speak. Putting a high amp circuit breaker, or sorry, not circuit breaker, but relay in the power line, and just turn it on and off from the car. But of course, if the electronics are gone, then you're not going to get the extra power as you turn the wheel. Your power steering pump may be on, but it's not necessarily doing what it should be doing. So took it out, pain in the bum. As you know, you're leaking power steering fluid everywhere. Managed to capture most of it, thought everything was fine, came back a few days later and noticed more had leaked out. Anyway, sent it off. Turns out water had somehow got into the electronics, and they were corroded as anything. Unrepairable. The warranty on it doesn't cover water ingress. Now, at first, that was all they told me. They didn't say anything more than that. So I rang back the next day, because when they called me I was a bit busy. And I was a little bit, I was obviously concerned, what had gone wrong, was it me, something I did, was it something they did? Anyway, the next day they told me that the water had come in through the connectors. Now I was then thinking, okay, well, when I pulled them off, I remember, the little control cable, it's got a locking mechanism on it, so I remember having to pull that and wiggle and fiddle with that to get that out. And the power cable, that wasn't loose, and it was loose because the power wouldn't get in. I had to get it up there with a pry bar and actually pry it out of the socket, which means the rubber connector in there and everything was obviously in there nice and tight. So I'm still baffled. I mentioned this to all to ECU testing, but as far as they're concerned, their warranty doesn't cover water ingress. Not their problem. They weren't going to fix mine. So I do have mine back. I don't have it with me. It's unrepairable apparently, so could be fun to pull that apart, but it's an expensive piece of kit now. So anyway, apart from being kind of somewhat very annoyed by that, I won't say too many choice words, but I ended up getting another one. So apart from maybe the packs of cocaine, no, cardboard, we now have a lovely new, reconditioned, shall we say. So we now have a reconditioned unit, and it looks very nice. Now this also has a warranty on it, which is good, and like this, the guy that does it's obviously put some nice blue wax over the bolts that hold this thing together. There's another one, you see blue all over the bolt, so he's going to know if someone's pulled this apart, because obviously they'll all be cleaned out. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to unwrap this, get it out, and get that into the car. We'll do a quick check over of everything, make sure everything's okay. Slight gap in the plastic there, but I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference. Right, okay, I'm going to put the camera down and get on with putting this back in the car. Okay, we've got it unwrapped. Let's have a quick look over it. We're going to keep a nice record of everything with this one. I don't need to have wasted a lot more money. So this is very nice. The guy that's put this together, or the person, shall I say, that's put this together has done a very nice job. Everything's very, very clean. You can see they've taken the care to really do a good job on this, which is nice to see. Certainly a lot better than the last one. One thing I have noted is a little bit of oil here on the bottom. I'm assuming that possibly either when putting it back together, or this is a refurbished unit, so I'm assuming that in transit, etc., because there are no seals on this, that something's leaked out somewhere. But it feels fairly dry inside there. Just hope that's not a sign of a problem. Some slight scrape marks on the aluminium there. So as I said, he's put this nice like blue wax on a lot of the different screws and that. Only one on the black casing here. Oh no, second one there, but none on the bottom one. But hey, if you're going to take that apart, I think they'll know under warranty, from a warranty claim perspective. Couple of stickers, a sticker here. Obviously that will probably tear if you take that apart, I'm picking, or won't stick properly anymore. Right, so again, the good news is I actually, when I saw the transit information for this, it looked like it was going to turn up next week, so I'm well pleased that this turned up now, because then I can get on and get this in the car and get things back together, get this thing back on the road, and maybe even use it. Right, let's grab this and run to the front of the car. And we've got the frame here, all the screws and nuts and bolts. Right, now let's put this one together. Before I do, One thing I may do is I may see if it's possible, while I've got everything off here at the moment, to do that other oil seal. I'm not sure it will, but we'll have a look. And just notice, well, this looks like it's slightly bent, but no biggie. We can just bend that back out. We'll soon notice, because if we set that up on there, it'll fit in. No big deal. Right. Right, excuse the upside down and everything else. I just wanted to show, let's see if I can do this. I wanted to show a little bit more evidence of where I think ECU testing may be wrong. Now, yes, the car's been sitting here, but I haven't done anything since this was pulled out. And looking in there, there's no evidence of water anywhere on this. And when I had to pull this out, excuse me, oh, hang on, this is stiff wire. So this part here, this ridge here, was hard up against the socket, and I had to get a screwdriver and wiggle it in here to pull that out. So I can't see how water's got in there, because you can see the yellow rubber seal there. There's no traces of water on that. And this smaller one, don't know, there's a bit of oil on there from when I pulled it out, but again, I can't see the amount of water they talked about, how it got through there. And again, there's no trace of water on the inside. That's the fan, so that's not so important. I don't know, completely confuses me how they can suggest that much water got in there. I mean, it's pretty well protected up there as well. You've got to think that this, you know, when it's up here, the pump, everything's up quite high. Yes, there's, you can see here where, you know, water's splashed up against the subframe, and sure enough, everything gets a bit grubby, but it's not that bad. So for that much water have got up there, I don't know. I think their first suggestion at one point was that a pressure spray had been up here, but yeah, no, just no. If a pressure spray had been up there, then why is there still so much dirt and crap up here? It hasn't come off. So anyway, no, it's going to take me a little while to get over the amount of money I spent with them and just their complete lack of wanting to listen, and not wanting to understand or hear my side of the story, and possibly even have a conversation about what they might do. It's just no warranty. Thank you very much. Anyway, enough of that. I didn't make this video to just moan about them. We've got a new one, and we're going to put it in and start enjoying the car again. Okay, and just before we carry on with that, my frustration getting the other one out, and I probably should have done this before anyway, but I cut through the old pipe, and it was an old pipe, needed replacing, to be honest. With the old one, I just put the old one back at the time and put these Jubilee clips. Anyway, I put these on, so we'll see what happens. I've got this new pipe now. From memory, putting this pipe on there before I get that in will actually make things quite difficult from memory. So we're going to see. Well, first of all, we've got to get the old pipe off the top, the reservoir. I haven't taken that part off yet. I've loosened it up, but these things are a right bugger to get off, to be honest. You could argue that it's a good tight fit, but they still leak fluid when they're quite old. So we'll see if we can get all that sorted. And one thing you may have noted, this, I don't know if I can't, as I said, I haven't got my other one with me, but that's not really a circle, is it? But anyway, we'll see how we go getting all this on. I'm sure this will hold it in place once it's there. But it's certainly something to look out for. I'd hate to think that I'm going to put all this together and find that this leaks because it's actually not quite a circle anymore. Don't know what's happened to that. It's almost like it's got a bit heated or something. But yeah, it's not perfectly round. Anyway, right, let's carry on, get some stuff done. Okay, a little bit hard to see in there. Sorry, I've got a light on underneath. Don't know if I can hide that a bit. But we've got the new pipe on to the reservoir. It's all tightened up. Had a bit of a problem when I was trying to get this on. It accidentally, the Jubilee popped out, but managed to get it all back in again without too much swearing, which is good. So that's on the reservoir. Now we're going to go underneath and put the pump in. Fingers crossed. We'll try and take the camera down there so you can see as much as possible. It's going to be a bit awkward, but we'll see what we can do. Okay guys, right, have a quick look. I'm going to have a good look at the way I've got this all connected in. We'll have a bit of light up around here. Sorry. So we can see power lead is in fully. Can see the control wires, the green, I think is it purple and white, green and yellow. Purple and white, I believe, is the one that comes from the alternator, or the connection in the alternator to know that that's running, so this should run. That power cord is in enough. I might double check it. It should be, the big ring around it is not where it goes into. There's a smaller ring closer to the fitting. Had a bit of trouble getting the hydraulic output on, but managed to get it in the end. It's just wrong angles. Hose got on, wasn't too bad once got it over the end using a Jubilee clip. Glad that's all in, but just in case we have any issues, I wanted to make sure I had good view of everything that's gone in, but still looks nice and clean in there and everything buttoned up nicely. So now let's put some fluid in and see if we have any leaks. Okay, last thing for the day, last thing for the weekend. I probably mentioned it, but just to go over it. So when I did the subframe, I didn't replace these. They all look pretty good, but I did replace the clips. I used Jubilee clips. Now, putting a Jubilee clip up here is fine. What I didn't think about is that when you put a Jubilee clip on here, it tightens up against the track arm. And then of course when you take it down to have the steering and the alignment done, well, guess what? They try and twist that track arm. And so what had happened, excuse the noise, I'm just opening the next one. What had happened with this is this is just slowly twisted like this up. And that's pretty much how I found it. It was all like this. Now, you can look at it and think, wow, it's actually quite sealed like that, but obviously with all this backwards and forwards while it's twisted, it's not good. So as we can see, there's a hole there, but not only that, there's a massive hole right there. So my mistake of using Jubilee clips. I'm not going to replace, I probably won't replace this I may still use this Jubilee clip, the big one at the far end. I've got the new one here. We're just going to go and get a big pot of grease to put in. We do have these clips. So this clip is a little bit different because I think on the car OEM you get this style clip. We'll see. I think I've actually got the tool to clip this up tighter. We'll have to see. Yeah, I do. I've got a tool where I can clip that. So we'll just have to see if there's enough space to get the tool in there now, to be honest. If that goes on, or whether I just continue to use this clip, the Jubilee clip here. The problem with this Jubilee clip is it's quite wide, and as you can see, it doesn't really fit over there. This one was this one here, is it a bit, I don't know, no, it's about the same. I think what's obviously happened when I've used this Jubilee clip over here, I've gone over this thicker ridge here just to hold that in place. So I could still use this one, but well, let's see, let's wait and see. As I said, I'll go and get the tool to see if I can use this first. But for now, we're going to put it back on. I'm not going to video all of it, to be honest, because it's a little bit awkward. The lighting's a bit rubbish. But anyway, that's enough for this video. Again, I'm not sure how long this one will be, but we've got the steering pump in. We've checked it for leaks. It's got fluid in it, which is good. Obviously, we need to fix this first before we go any further. But once we've got this in place, we can put everything back together and put it back on the ground. Oh, no, I was doing a couple of little paint touch-ups underneath. But again, thank you very, very much for watching, guys. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, hope you have a really good week. And we'll see you again in the next video. Take care for now.